Hello, friends. We start our course of philosophy, Introduction to Philosophy, and our first part is introduction. Next step in our work will be historical different theories of different persons in philosophy. And today we will talk about the basic experience of philosophical thinking. And this is a short name for this the topic, experience of philosophy. Okay. This topic will consist with three parts, subparts more correctly. Beginning challenge, it is our topic today. Effects, consequence, it is different features of philosophy what we all emerge from this event of thinking, event of experience of philosophy, and exist responding the basic problem of philosophy and basic experience. It's like synonymous. And of course, I must say about frame from what it's ground for me from a person who draw a line my own positions and basic intuition what I will express in these lectures. It is firstly Hegel, Heidegger, Mamardashvili, Merab Konstantinovich, Bibihin, and Ahutin. Of course, other philosophers who I use without any reference to him, to them, but I will remember about this in my own consciousness. Okay. Next step. And of course, it is our first step, beginning challenge of philosophy. When we talk about this moment, we must say about the region experience, the something what really create the genesis of different forms of philosophical thinkers thinking and different approaches in understanding reality. And this original experience, it's like the synonymical name for what Mamardashvili named like a real philosophy. Real philosophy, it is the activity inside philosopher who think about something. It is real activity like a practice of this thinker. I remember the joke about difference between continental and analytic philosophers, and unfortunately I now have these pictures here because I remember it only now. In the first picture show out the analytic philosopher who in usual conditions, not stand of consciousness, it's only analytic philosophers. Another step, it is drunk analytic philosophers. Joke, of course. I mean that another picture shows this this stand of philosopher in the same picture. But when we talk about the continental philosophy, firstly, it is pictures what show us the same picture, what it was like analytic philosophy and first pictures picture. And next up, drunk continental philosophers. And under these pictures, right, it is poet, because next picture, it is not the same previous face of philosopher. It is poet, really. It is something another. Of course, it is joke and very maybe contradictional joke, I think. But what's important for me when we talk about real philosophy, we will talk not about poetry, but about the um, phenomenological grounding of a real philosophical process. More exactly, we must say it is ground what correctly was described in existentialism of Heidegger. That's why I remember I have said about Heidegger like one of my first ground in this lecture. Okay, when we talk about philosophy, it's difficult talk, because when we talk about another discipline, we know that exists something another, and we, for example, object, and we know that it is something another what process of understanding this object, or something what some reality what we try to understand. It's something another, but in philosophy it is not so. And because our understanding of what I have before me, it is these criteria of what I see, it is to the something what I must discuss, I must critique, and I must to try to clear what really the essence of these criteria, because in another, and it's difficult because in another disciplines, axioms and theorems, it is different spheres. Exists something what I really know, and exists something what I only can represent some. I have my assumption about this. Okay, and what we can solve our problem here. Problem that when we talk about philosophy, we must use already only instruments of the philosophy. I think that we must use another form of consciousness, because the consciousness for us, our consciousness, I mean, it is totality, and in my consciousness, I too not really always can distinguish something what really exists in my mind and something what I see before me like real thing. It is so because we know that our feelings show us something definite only in my mind, not directly. That's why we will use another form of consciousness, like a totality vision. It is common, usual. In Russian, we talk обыденная, usual consciousness. What I mean. And here we show, we can see the main features of these common or usual consciousness. It is splitness. It is splitness of the world. It is the first features, I think, very great and very essential for understanding what really, how we really understand reality in our usual stand of consciousness. And when we try understanding without science, without philosophy, and of course it is usual consciousness. Okay, first features, main features of these form of understanding reality, it is splitness of the world. It is opposition. We always see this reality like structure of different opposition, good and bad, prey and predator, slave, master, and etc. It is so much. But really, when we try to understand why it's so, why we try catch this essence of this splitness of the world, usually we find that the main cause of this phenomenon only one. When we see and understand reality directly, we see only world. We can't see yourself. It is simply, but it is mistake, the basic mistake of usual consciousness. It is basic mistake because we use this objective way of understanding, objective vision of reality without us, for like instrument for not understanding myself. We use this splitness like instrument for on awareness, for life without awareness what really I am, without understanding what really I am. And of course, I show here example where we can find different example. These gain with this position when I cover myself in one position, and that's why I see another. When situation will transform, will change, I will transform my position, and for example, I can and I will stand in another a hand in another besides all this opposition, and again I will see another, and this vision will be true, but not all true. It will be abstract true, because truth, it is not abstract. In Russia we talk that there is truth, истина, and правда, something true, yes. And it is game what we play with our own nature, what we of course don't know. But nevertheless, it is the cause, this opposition in gaming these opposite positions. It is cause why we have in our life a meaningless cycle, the same mistakes, the same problem, and we repeat and repeat this problem. Only in what moment when we extract the lesson, the idea of repeating experience, repeating situation, only when we can see that these different situations have only the same sense, only the same meaning. Only after that we stop this cycle, we stop this moving in the cycle. And this moment, it is moment of understanding myself. Of course, when we talk about these oppositions, I haven't talked about the basic approach of my topic, unfortunately, but it is basic approach consists in what? I will try to talk about philosophy inside and from inside this experience of philosophy. I will try to talk about philosophy with position from the first phase, from inside this vision, and not it is this specific when I will try unite this vision from first person with vision from third person, and when I try to something objective vision from third person from third face, like so. And next step, when we talk about myth, it is step when we must formulate the name for this standing of my consciousness, stand of my consciousness. State, yes, state. And it is named, this name, myth. Myth, this is our rock, because it is really something what we can't to destroy this, because it is so close to us, it is so useful, it is precious for us, and that's why it is because of our mistakes. That's why when we talk about myth, we must say it is home. Heidegger, in some his work, said, when we begin talk about philosophy, when we start our present in philosophy, we catch everywhere the feeling like nostalgia, because we miss, like it is feeling that like I miss my home, and I try to feel it again, that I'm home. I want to feel it, and when we feel it, we realize some activity. But in next step, he developed this intuition. For us, it's important that home, it is where it is place where all things stand before us and see to us like we're very closer, very useful. It is like when you see in face your mother, your parents, your brother and sister, this vision of reality. When I project this objective, my self-consciousness, social, of course, familiar maybe, self-consciousness, I project in reality, it is myth. That's why the world where I live in, world, what I see like this projection of my family, it is of course world where so sweet I can sleep. But that's why I have a problem, because this home, my tomb, it is not something where I burn like person. It is only place where I can have a very comfortable feelings without development my real personal abilities. And here I say about the real basic formula of development and event of burning philosophy. It is from myth to logos. It is correctly, and I must say about genetic epistemological concepts of the origin of philosophy. Shortly, very shortly about these concepts. I repeat again, I again stand and I continue vision from third person vision. Yes, when I try to understand something like what I name philosophy with a standpoint from third person, objectivity, like objective phenomenon. Methogenetic conception, it's conception when I understand philosophy like something what born from myth. It is development uh, in a way of development of myth. In this approach, we see the very really some part of true ideas, because really when we talk about the beginning way of development philosophy, um, we see that the first theory of philosophy was like individual myths of some person, first philosophers. It's so. It's like individual, my own vision of reality. It's like individual myth. It is very important. Um, Next idea, it is true. Epistemological conception of origin of philosophy. It's idea that the knowledge have different package forms by what I can having this, catching this, and only when the structure of this knowledge will develop, only in this moment, this form was destroyed, and will transform in new formation, in new form, in new package. And for example, the first form for knowledge about world, it is myth. And next step, it is more scientific vision, it is philosophical. And next step, it is positivistic vision of development of philosophy. Auguste Comte, you know. And next step, of course, it's particular sciences. And what important for us today? All these concepts really true and correct, but not in how moments. The basic mistakes of all these concepts consist in what? When we talk about mythogenetic or epistemological conception, all these conception really don't understand that it is in philosophy, it is internal event, what really show us what really happened with consciousness when we transform our vision. It is event when myth not genetic the philosophy, not origin, not make, but philosophy, it is like responding to crisis of myth. It is a real responding what really need very much power, very much concentration, individual, each person who try to answer these crises. I must say here that this crisis, it is event what continue in our history, and today we see different mythological features We see different features of mythological consciousness. It is maybe something evidently something what we amazing maybe, because we see so many technological products, and for these technological products need so much scientific searching, studying, and we have our universities, schools, and etc. But nevertheless, the basic vision of reality, it is myth. And we see these features of mythological consciousness and in modern society too. It is not something what happened in some moment and after that not exist. No, it is event happen, event of myths, event of burn of myth, and event where we start our vision of reality from a mythological position. But another event from myth to logos, event crisis of myth, it is event to continuing history, social history, scientific history, and etc., cultural too. It is second event, crisis and responding to this crisis of myth. This a challenge for us. Crisis of myth is really challenge. And here we remember about the name of our topic today. It is event challenge to what I must respond only by my own abilities, only by my own concentration, all my abilities and power, all my attention. It is need my own burn like a person, really individual, liberal individual. It is only liberal individual freedom, yes, like a feature of a person. It is results responding to this crisis, what's really happened in our society and happen in all history of human before. Okay, and it is very important for understanding that philosophy and transformation from mythologos, it is event what continue in history. Okay, next step, and here we realize next closing to the basic experience of philosophy, like experience where I respond to these crisis, to these challenge to me. I will play with to these notions, to these words, crisis and tragedy. Very quickly, I try to talk crisis. It is sentencing or it's a process where justice can talk as it is true or not. Yes, it is this situation. That's why it's Greek notions. Tragedy. What correlation between two these notions? Tragedy we can translate like goat singing. Why goat? Why? What is this? Why this animal? Where is it? But it is important because goat, it is the symbolical, it is symbol, religion symbol of Dionysus. And of course, this is the one of the figure and real animal by what we when we realize in religious ritual we where we use altar, of course, we symbolically express the idea of essence of Dionysus. Dionysus, Dionysus, Dionysus. And of course, when we talk about tragedy, it's mean that in tragedy, theatrical or art, yes, in this sphere, realize the same idea in all different pieces what we stand in our theater, for example, in Greek theater. And when we see these, we see the main idea, this God with Dionysus. And it is religious and ritual activity and moment when we can't slip out of ourselves. It's moment when hero of tragedy like Dionysus, who feel and experience all these, he feel all experience of Dionysus. The main idea of tragedy, it is when we break, stand upon limits of my English. It is situation of stupor, when I have before me and inside me controversial positions, and of course it's Big Bang in my mind and heart. I can't to do, and for this situation, stupor, external. It's external when I talk about externally. I talk about emechania, Greek notion. It's Greek God. My weakness when I can't do something. It is stupor, disparateness. But in this moment, when I don't know what I must to do, what the way of solution this situation, it is central moment of tragedy. It is central moment of ritual with a goat. It is central moment what happened with hero in tragedy. It is moment when I can't to do something. I don't know. And we remember about the main sentence of Socrates. Yes, I know that I don't know nothing. Yes, I don't know something. These sentence have his own continuance, but today, now it is not so important for us. But I remember the main moment. This stupor, central point of tragedy on external level, push us inside of us, inside of my own nature, inside of my own consciousness. I wake up and see something what this world, not something only objective, but objective only when I present in this world. Only my own activity, not only, but my own activity, it is factor of this reality. It is point where we see and we now burn a real person who know that I have my own abilities, for helping another people, for that I have my doubt, dolk, yes, something what I must. And if I have some mistakes, I accept the um, consequence from these mistakes. It is very important because this moment, this event of burning of real person consciousness, individual consciousness, not social, not common, but individual. Only when I don't know what is reality. And here you see the main question of philosophy. What is this being? What is this world? What is this me? It's so strange because it is not, we can't say that it is usual question in our life. No, we stand before these questions only when happen with us process of burning our individual consciousness. Only this moment, these questions happen, show what that I am. What this question emerge in our life like a really important questions. And I return you to the first notion from what I start this slide, crisis. Crisis, it is, it is situation between or and or. It is when I try choose, when I try to choose the different alternatives, but it is not alternative what I have before me. I repeated it because it's very important. Crisis in medicine, we know that it is a situation when our patient have a stand where or will be death or will be recovering, start process of recovery. But really, it is moment where I really have a choice between me, choice in myself, but not before me. Choice between one myself and another myself. That's why here we must say that philosophy is philosophy of the thinking of transformation, my self-understanding. It is strange language for catching these strange transformation or transformative processes in my nature. That's why we must say that this real choice between me and myself, another myself, it is a qualitative choice. It is moving not before, here and here, not. It is moving from here to there. It is in a choice. It's very important. That's why tragedy, it's moment where a hero realize this choice. Tragedy, like crisis, is an experience of discernment. Only when we have this experience, we really get the wisdom, we get the something what we can't express in formal sentences. Because here, very important, not formal, but informal details. Here we must say, like Mamardashvili said, I translate his sentence. He said so, when we think not exactly, it's a situation where the daimon have play with us, have a game with us, play with us. And of course, it is very important that details, it is fundamental, very essential moment by what I can catch something essential, really. That's why when we talk about philosophical thinking, it is not formalized thinking. It's mean not that the philosophical thinking in all spheres can't we can't formalize. No, but this is the center. The same, and again we return to the position from third person, external vision, the birth of science, theory and speculations. When we talk about this choice, what we have said, it is situation when we distinguish something what we name like one, for example, death. Yes, we remember that all heroes of tragedy will have a death. It is always so. But really exists difference between death and death like hero. Because death, if you really hero of tragedy, hero, winner, we remember, it is death another, it is not usual death. Of course, in the first case and second case, we always have death, real, in reality, in life. But first, here, death. It is only death. But if you hero your death, it is beginning for life. We all know about this phenomenon where we see our father and mother because his life finished when we was born, and if our father and mother good, our parents good, we always know that all his feelings, all powers was give us, was all this resource was give us. It is very important for us and for our future life. It is another death, and this process life, like life of what moved to the death, it is another life when we see alive men who have no, for example, friends, who have no his own childs, and etc., for whom he can give something. He can give something more that he has. That is very important. But the same event, this moment of distinguish what was aware, was awareness, maybe so, yes, what was understood in experience of tragedy, this experience of distinguish something real on non-real. It is experience of birth of science, what we really have in Egyptian and Greeks. We see these distinguish in these moments. What I mean, very shortly, Egyptians have very much different information, for example, in mathematics spheres, but Egyptian not create the mathematics like science. only Greek create these signs, but Greek study the from Egyptians. It's very interesting. These distinguish between death and death, something and something, what something else. It's difficult for expression. It is the same. Distinguish between world, feelings, and being, what something really exists. It is first question. What is this? What is reality? What is being? Choosing between is something what exists before me, yes, but choosing yourself, it is something what exists in myself. Choose between myself here and here, it is another choose. Heidegger. Freedom for and freedom from, the same idea. Very interesting paradoxical sphere. I tried to talk more quickly because we have no so much time for our studies, and I think it is not so easy for understanding. That's why I try to talk quickly. Difference and difference, Derrida, the same idea in another form. If you have some question in these slides, you can write it and answer me in our seminars, or you can use WhatsApp, you know. And here we see these, okay, I think here. Here it is illustration, this experience, this same experience, point of amihania, stupor, yes. It is like this deconstruction, event of deconstruction of reality. And when we stand in center on of uncertainty. It's very Daniel Herms. It is a poet of Russia, Russian poet, Daniel Herms. And here you see translator Yandex. And this moment, I will talk. I talk about this moment again in aspect of deconstructive aspect of this philosophical event. You see that I return another and another to the same moment and repeat different consequence from this experience. And deconstruction objective integrity as a challenge and initial certainty. From there emerge question about our here Epiron, and the same notion of the ancient philosophy of Greek. And this event when something so usual was destroyed, and by this I firstly can to see something not so evidently, something evidential, maybe so. It is not so, but it is not so. Okay, I will write this text very shortly. I will write it in Russian shortly. Я шел домой вдоль болота, в галошах, шляпе и очках. Вдруг по реке пронесся кто-то на металлических крючках. Я побежал скорее к речке, а он бегом пустился вниз, к ногам приделал две дощечки, присел, подпрыгнул и исчез. Я долго я стоял у речки и долго думал, сняв очки. Какие странные дощечки и непонятные крючки. This event of deconstruction reality show us that the things what usually we thought that it is something usual, what we really know. Here we know that something usual, it is not what we really understand. I return to these distinguish being and world, what feelings show us. It is this idea that these things, what we have before us, we don't know these things. And it is plus positive aspect of this experience. And this experience in repeated again and again in history of philosophy secretes with his irony and mathematics method of dialogue. Descartes, Husserl with phonological reduction, Derrida with his method of deconstruction. Its correlation, not the its notion correlate the idea of Derrida. Okay, and final part of our work, and we must conclude some movements, and I hope it was not so difficult, maybe not so as usually it is happen for my student maybe. And here we see these moments. Okay, deconstruction again. Deconstruction of objectivity, objective integrity, unity, as a challenge and initial certainty. Integrity besides me, it's deconstruction, reality like a mythological reality. Without this experience, I'm sorry, this experience of deconstruction, it's experience where myself show before me, and it is show me, and I see this point like a new point of assemblage, assemblage point of reality. It is, of course, metaphysical demand. It is the metaphysical request to me, but I feel it like a core of being. It is something inside me what happened and show me that exists something more that I am. And here we see that it is correlation with religion consciousness and form of understanding reality, and it is religion free. And it is my awareness, my own consciousness like a point for assembling a reality. Again, it is the synonymous, it is another version of formulation idea that I have my personal thinking. This is act of transcending, and here I again stand in third person standing in vision of philosophy. Of course, this is this experience when I wake up, when I feel that my own consciousness and something in this consciousness, like a point of assembling reality, it is act of metaphysics, act of transcending, exist from something what exists, from 2 points, subjective spheres, 2 spheres, subjective and objective. It is real sphere, objective. And when I stand here, I see something before me. But when this crisis happened with me, I transcend in meta position, and my new reality, it is metaphysical reality, and the basic notions of metaphysics. First of all, it is of course the idea of the world like a unity, because we can't have in our experience unity of world. It is something metaphysical, that's why. Okay, next step. But when we talk about this, when we, okay, I must repeat, it is the same experience. We realize the experience of tragedy and crisis, and if we complete this experience, we realized transfiguration. The first experience of philosophy at its point, very important for art and for religion. It is experience of transfiguration. The philosophy, it is word, notion for understanding this experience. For religion, more importantly, to catch and feel the experience without notion. For art, and we will talk about in next lectures, for art, more important to express this experience in different images and etc. But this experience, when this way of tragedy was finished, we have recovered to come, wake up, yes, when we wake up and come to myself, or gather and concentrate our powers and intentions. You you move your life like a hero's life. It is like a saint. Internal hero, it is saint. External hero, we all know it's from our films and Greek mythology or another mythology. The same it is. Hero, it is somebody who can realize this transformation, his own nature. But the essence of this transfiguration, it is only one. It is when I stand before myself. It is transformation, it is experience. It is the same experience of philosophy, I mean. It is experience when I see in eyes myself, but who stand before me? It is not me. It is shadow. It is a painful point in my heart. It is shadow of my own nature what stand before me. It is contradictional position in tragedy. It is when different shadows show me and stand before me. And if I withstood the gaze of his own shadows into myself, I realized me and my life like a hero. Of course, we must remember it is medieval position in my description. I use different metaphors from ancient philosophy and theory of arts and etc. But for me, important to express this experience, what we all can find in our life. All these moments I and another philosopher, of course, can use and can express by professional notions. But when we, next step, moment, yes. When we have this complication, yes, finished of this process of transfiguration, we see before us phenomenon. That is, it's mean not phenomenal in his own notion, but in notion what use in this lecture and phenomenological tradition. I mean that phenomenon, it is the fullness, okay, it is something without shadows. It is phenomenon without essence, because all essence embodiment in this phenomenon, in this thing. It is paradoxical, something paradoxical, and all real philosophical notions. It is like this, I mean, ontological construction. Firstly, for example, in postmodernism, it is body without organs for feelings, or maybe, or in other ideas is not so important. Phenomenon in this mean, when shadows was emerge and we see it and experienced it, yes, if I can so say, this hero like mirror. It's a game of words, but it's interesting. Really, oh, who can realize this transformation for us? It is like mirror. It is, I think, it is the basic idea of all teachers. A really great teacher, it is only mirror for us. He has now his own will in our transformation, for our education, and etc. Now, it is very passive position. Passive, I mean that without without external, without non-essential activity in this teacher. It is mirror because when we have a communication with him, we see our real nature, our real yourself. Yes, our yourselfness, maybe so, yes. Samest in Russian, selves. And when we see in this mirror, we feel something what we usually can name like Greek notion catharsis. It is central moment. It is results for all who watch this tragedy in Greek theatre. Catharsis. It is process of clearing my soul, where I feel something, but it is not like sadness. It is sadness with a good eye, with smile in eyes, because I have a I can cry and twice, слезы, but this is good feelings, because I feel that I feel something more in myself. That's why it is a process of clearing my soul. It is very important, and I think it is the goal for all teachers, and it is the central moment of transformation, and it first affects for philosophy when we talk about philosophy, because first name for that's why the first name for philosopher was not philosopher. It's mean philia sophia, or we can say in English so somebody who love wisdom. Now, if we talk about this a name, first name for philosopher, it was not philosopher. We remember that the name notion. Philosopher was created by Pythagoras only because philosophers who love but not have wisdom. But why? Because why the first philosopher was named like somebody who have this wisdom or sophist. It is the important because this experience lie on the ground on the ground of philosophical experience. That's why all people who have this experience of transformation, we can, for us, for example, who have this experience and who catch the lesson and knowledge in his own life, in his own problem, who can catch the sense and meaning in these problems, who can catch the understanding from this problem in his life. For us who can't have this experience, it's we will be like a sophist, in meaning that it is somebody who has for us wisdom, really personal, very deep knowledge. Okay, and we're in here very shortly because I have no much, so no more time for us. Very quickly about effects. That's why, because this knowledge for us, it is not formal knowledge. It is not knowledge for our intellect. It is knowledge. I mean knowledge in philosophy. It is knowledge. What involve our heart and nature, all nature, not only mind. But my analytical colleagues maybe can say me it is not so. But I reconstruct the basic archetype of philosophy, and firstly continental and ancient Greek philosophy. Of course, it is like a paradigm of philosophers. That's why it is so deep level of knowledge. The philosophical thinker thinking, it is thinking with values. It is reflection of values. It is something where standing in ground of my thinking, because in the ground we always know about event of I want to say it quickly, opening, say so, opening of Kant, that in the ground of theoretical reason exists practical reason. It is the basic values and ideas of reason by what I organize my activity in reality, in practical activity firstly. And these criteria of this activity, it is of course values. Philosophers stone, lead and code. It is like Miro, the same. I have no time for explanation. Music and customs play this idea in key. It's Mamardashvili. If you want to ask me, I will ask you. I will answer you to this question about these moments if you want. Identification philosophy. Of course, philosophy in these aspects of experience of philosophy, it is thinking at the level of certainty of value. That's why all these ideas, we can say that this version of philosophy, that's why it's version something true. Okay, and finally, I repeat the main idea, in final part of this lecture. To be witness when the essence is fully given in the phenomenon is like being a witness to your own reflection and mirror, like here. Yes, it is, I think, illustration for us what the basic experience of philosophy, like transformation, your own nature, and the word about this transformation. That's why we can't formalize and what we have thought about these moments. I hope it was interesting for you. And if you have some questions for me, you can write it with commentaries to this video or WhatsApp or in our seminars. I hope this situation with COVID will correct and we continue our work. Okay, thank you very much. That's all.